The Americans are taking over.
Excuse you.
I mean, we're both Americans.
Yeah, but when you just say it like American, then it seems like, America.
We're not United Stated. Okay, anyhow, if you're not acquainted with us, we do this college radio to proportionate students with more content made by students and allow the space for us to talk about things that often we wouldn't really talk about.
That's right. Often the type of communication that we get at school it's handed down from higher ups, and it's always very formal and it's kind of all over the place, to be perfectly honest.
Yep.
So this is just a place to gather all the information that we can from around school and around Leeuwarden and present it to you, our lovely listeners.
Precies. Like the famous Dutch say.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this episode we are going to start with our first ever interview with a teacher on college radio. Just take a listen. All right, so we're here with creative business teacher Elger, and he's just going to give us kind of an update on his life, what it's like being a teacher during these times. Elger, would you care to give our listeners just a little introduction?
Sure. My name is Elger Abink, and I teach a lot at the Department of Creative Business. I coordinate a first-year module called Content, and I give a lot of lectures there, and I also am coaching a group. And I also teach some second-year stuff. I had a group that I was coach of in the first module, and I give like some lectures and workshops for the second years. Don't do a whole lot in the third year, and then I'm designing the graduation program, so the fourth year.
Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
So you seem really busy in the first and second years. What's it like? So you said that you're the coordinator of the content module. So what's it like now versus a year ago or 2 years ago? What kind of updates have you made to the program in light of everything that's happening?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I think we were lucky with our module because what we teach in our module is analyzing media. And what I always say, you can pretty much do this in your pajamas on the couch. So that's the benefit of this particular aspect of this whole skill set that we teach you at the program. Mm-hmm. So Rebecca Feldwijk and myself, we were very lucky in the sense that for us that switch was easy. So and so that made our lives very easy.
Good.
But then all the practical issues of one of the first things that we had to do is make sure that we could do we have an individual test, an exam that we needed to do online, and all the teaching is online, and that's so back early in the year with the we didn't really have a lockdown, but we stayed home for a little while.
Yeah.
So then everything was online, and so teaching in that way took a lot of getting used to. And now we have one offline session per week.
Okay.
So we see students in real life once a week, and that's but switching to online is difficult.
It definitely is. Yeah, students and teachers alike. It's not been easy, but I think over time we're all adapting.
And I like to look at it from with a bit of positivity, that there's also some things that we can take from this. Hopefully, there's some good news about vaccines coming out. So hopefully, by this time next year, the world will be slightly more back to normal, the way it used to be in some ways. But there's definitely things that we can take from this, and I think. Being able to work from home has proven to be very effective, not just for school, but just for life in general.
That's true.
So this situation has proven that working from home, remote working is fine. I think that has really huge implications. I think that lowers the threshold for people with disabilities to enter the work field. So I think that's a really positive thing.
Absolutely.
It's going to have. I think it's going to have an impact on commuting, where people will, realize that we can do a lot of work from home. So there will be, I hope, and I think there will be less pressure on being physically present for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I think, and just these interactions that we can have, we can interact. It's not as good as meeting in real life, but it works.
Yeah.
We can make it work.
We make do with what we have.
Exactly. And so I think there's a lot of, it's been a terrible situation, and it's been truly an awful year. But I think we, it's been terrible.
Yeah.
Think of how many, like sometimes we forget this, but COVID is a terrible disease, and
Yeah.
people are suffering, and I think that we also, I don't know, maybe this sounds a bit strange, but I also feel like we owe it to that as well, that we take some positive out of this, and that we do learn from this.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to find the silver lining in everything.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that message of positivity. I think that's something everybody needs to be reminded of every once in a while.
Yeah, I think so. And it's hard to stay positive over such a long period, because it does, I think COVID fatigue is a real thing, that people are tired of staying home, tired of wearing masks. I mean, nobody likes wearing a mask.
No.
But I really don't mind wearing a mask. If me wearing a mask
benefits the greater good, then I'll happily do it.
If grandma lives a little bit longer because I wear a mask, I'm happy to wear a mask.
Agreed. So stepping away from Corona and everything for a minute, because it is the center of most conversations nowadays. Mm-hmm. We just kind of want to get back to you. So how did you become a teacher at NHL Stenden?
I applied for a job. How I became that's a nice question. So I have a degree in a kind of a useless field. I have a degree in theater studies, and the chances of getting employed with a degree like that is, and in that field is very small.
Unfortunately.
But that's my sort of my academic background. But to sort of make a bit of money during my studies, when I was a student, I started tutoring. I started tutoring high school kids. And then with that experience, I was able to get a job as an English teacher at the university. Mm-hmm. But the funny thing was, when I first started studying as a student myself, back when I was 18, 19, I didn't know what to do, so I decided to study at NHL at the time to become an English teacher then. But I really didn't want to become a teacher. That's the thing. I was always pretty good at English, so that's why it was a logical choice. Oh, I'll become an English teacher. But I really I love the study and I love the department, and I learned a lot. But I didn't, looking back at it now, like almost 20 years later now, I didn't like educate the high school level in the Netherlands, the educational philosophy there. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the profession that I was being trained for at the time.
Okay.
And I thought for a long time I would never become a teacher, because I thought that I hated teaching.
That's so surprising. I mean, you're a lot of people's favorite teacher at this school. It's very surprising to hear you say that you never even wanted to become a teacher in the first place.
No, because I didn't know what it could be, and I also I was young and I didn't but I was teaching in the wrong field at the time. I think that if I were to, I don't want to do that. It's not a plan in any means. But if I were to teach at the high school level now, I think I would approach it completely differently as well.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just the way secondary school, high schools are being run, and it just goes against my philosophy of what it means to learn and to teach. Mm-hmm. It's very rigid. There's such a power dynamic at play. It's almost like teaching as factory work. And yeah, no, I really, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, your culture just didn't mesh with the culture that they were asking for.
I think so. Yeah. And that summarizes it quite well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, perspective is everything. So if it wasn't right, then it wasn't meant to be. And you're here now, and so many people appreciate you as a teacher here. So I think in the end, you ended up in the right place.
I think so. I'm very happy teaching. I was having a conversation through WhatsApp with some of my friends yesterday about this actually, and I have a friend who teaches at a similar program here in Groningen, and he he says that he feels like a fraud because he doesn't because he also they also do like documentary making, that sort of stuff, and he says like I've never made a documentary. So he feels like he's a fraud when he's teaching. But my perspective is, I'm not a documentary maker, but I'm a teacher. That's kind of what I do. I'm an educator. So I might not be an expert in the field of marketing, but I can see how people are learning about marketing, and I can guide people in that process.
Yeah, it's a totally different scenario, being able to teach something.
Yeah, exactly. So that has also been kind of a process for me over the last, because I've been working for NHL Stenden now, starting at Stenden, of course, for 10 years now.
Wow.
And it's been a process of, I guess about 3 years ago around this time that I had this realization that I'm a teacher. I'm an educator, and that's okay. And I kind of love that. And coming to terms with the fact that this is who I am. But that was a long process. So and I'm happy being an educator. It's a good place, a good thing to be in for me.
I'm glad to hear it. It's always a process coming to accept your situation, and I mean, sometimes it can take 7 years, but as long as you feel you are where you need to be when you need to be there, then I think it all works out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are running out of time, so just one very last question. I know that you're a big movie buff and you love all things. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but geeky.
Sure, no. I've proudly embraced the term geek.
Perfect. Do you have any recommendations? Because I know that people are at home a lot, and especially with the cold weather coming, Christmas coming, holidays. Do you have any movie recommendations for our listeners?
Not a movie recommendation, but this is a thing that it was just I saw some things that people are picking it up, and everybody seems to be watching this. But there's a Netflix show called The Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's wonderful.
It's on my list. I really, really want to see it.
It's amazing. It's so wonderful. It's 7 episodes. It's really great. So,
a limited series.
Yeah, and I'm sort of late in adopting it because I've been like you know how it goes. You recommend stuff to friends, and I've been texting my friends, "Hey, I'm watching this show," and everybody texts me back and saying, "Oh, we've already seen it."
Well, I'm late to the party too, but
but it's wonderful. The Queen's Gambit. It's about chess. I don't play chess, but it makes chess look cool. So. It's a really wonderful thing. So that's top of the list of the recommendations is The Queen's Gambit.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. Thank you so much for coming for this interview in general, and all of the advice and just positive thinking that you gave our listeners. We really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. Good luck with the show.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
And this was our very cherished CV feature, Her. Next up, we have Kai from What's Cooking in the Kitchen, singing Petit Four, if I managed to pronounce that correctly.
All right, that was Petit Four by What's Cooking in the Kitchen. You can find him on Spotify. Definitely look him up. What's Cooking in the Kitchen? All one word. All right, moving on to our next segment, What's Happening in Leeuwarden? What is happening in Leeuwarden? Let's find out.
So they have a little update for Corona regulations. One more guest is allowed per household since of last week. So now we can have 3 guests per day per household.
I don't want 3 guests per day. It's too many for me.
Yeah. And you can also, oh my God, you can also get tested even if you don't show any symptoms of coronavirus.
Starting December 1st.
Yes. I always have Cardi B's voice screaming coronavirus. Oh my God.
Yeah, so up until now, I guess you were only supposed to get tested if you had any symptoms. But as of December 1st, if you had a meeting with somebody who was infected or you just suspect anything, even if you don't have symptoms, you can go and get tested, which is very good, especially because a lot of people I know will be going home sometime in December. So it's definitely better to have a sure answer before you make any plans.
Make sure to get tested before you take flight. I was going to say flee, but
before you flee,
don't run away. Okay. So the singer Dowie Bob? Like Dowie, like
Egberts.
Okay. So his brother, Dowie Bob, will be fined €1,000 for illegal performance on Terschelling in June. My dude was filming an entire documentary amidst the corona crisis.
Okay.
That's very, very intense, sir. I mean, honestly, I know €1,000 is a lot of money, but for a singer, is that much money?
I mean, we know nothing about Dowie Bob.
I don't know if he's that famous of a guy.
I mean, they announced that anything in public and everything back in June even, you would be getting a fine for it. So I got to say it's kind of on him.
I don't know what the weight of €1,000 is for Dowie Bob, but I just hope that no one got infected.
Yes. Moving on. The Frieze Museum has added a gilded 7th century Domburg fibula to its collection. Earlier this year, the fibula was found in the vicinity of Swischum with the help of a metal detector by Leeuwarden amateur archaeologist Robert Velt.
That's really nice.
Hell yeah, that's so cool.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. I find that so interesting. Like, metal detectors in general, they're really cool.
Not even the fibula found? No, it's just metal detectors.
Okay, I'm starting with metal detectors. They're really cool.
Okay, and the fibula?
Awesome.
Okay.
Even more cool.
You didn't sound as excited as the metal detectors, but
I like metal detectors.
okay, now you know, guys. Stephanie loves metal detectors.
Christmas gift?
Okay, one of the 2 bronze dog statues at the entrance of the Rengerspark?
Yeah, like the Rengers Park.
The park in front of NHL Stenden, that one, in Leeuwarden, has been stolen.
Yeah,
I mean, my God.
I used to walk by there all the time, and there's the entrance to the park from the main road, kind of like right across from the doctor's office. And there's a dog statue on either side, and it's really cute. Like anytime I see like a dog walking past there, they always go up and sniff it. It's really cute. So I don't know how somebody managed to take one.
I would think that's some security right there.
It's bronze, like it's heavy.
Dude, this was a mission. Someone was determined.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I hope that I can get some of that determination for my assignment. Okay. What happens in Stenden, y'all? Updates.
What's going on around the university? I gotta say, not all that much, but we do have some updates for you. Most of them Stuco CB related. Apologies for anybody not Stuco or not CB listening. This week, Stuco CB has Friendsgiving content, which is being posted all week. It started yesterday, and there's some new surprise things coming on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Ooh,
so
stay updated.
Yep. Check out the Stuco CB Instagram and Facebook.
Definitely. And for the record, the reason why there's no other Stucos involved is because we looked for it and there wasn't any.
There's really just not a lot happening this week
I think everyone's just warming up to everything after.
That must be it. Yes, everybody's just warming up.
Black Friday and Christmas.
Yes.
And
also American Thanksgiving.
Oh,
I don't celebrate American Thanksgiving, but
some people do. Who knows?
Some people do. It's I like the idea of Thanksgiving. It's just specifically American Thanksgiving I don't celebrate because I'm
Canadian. But I think it's nice, and if you want an excuse to overeat, then
yeah, it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving like in the traditional sense. You can do Friendsgiving online or with the 3 people that you have over at your house.
Exactly.
So this Thursday, the 26th, is American Thanksgiving, and the Super Bowl. Is that happening this year?
Lots of American things. See, nothing is happening here now because it's all happening in America.
That's right. Everything's happening.
It can happen at the same time. I love how you guys can't see this, but Zali is our producer, and she is like nearly crying.
We're feeling very chatty today. It's
so disappointing. It's lovable.
Podcast vibes.
So Stuco CB Skillet on graphic design starts today. Y'all.
Woo-woo.
Today with 2 more workshops 1 week apart. Graphic design, that's a hella useful skill.
Yeah, I believe they're working with Illustrator and one other program. But it's all going to be recorded, so it will be available online afterwards if you aren't able to make it.
That's hella nice.
Yeah.
I actually will make use of that because my timing is
really useful.
insane. But y'all, graphic design is so important. Like,
yes.
I can't stress how much you will be able to use that in your future. So if anything, keep it do it or keep your ears out for the record because it's amazing.
Yeah. That's pretty much it that's happening around Stenden at the moment. However, there is a side note. All of the students, the CB students who are in production 2 right now, they are currently making content for matters.frl, which is just a platform for creative and meaningful content made for students by students. So,
yes, which is actually accurate. It's entirely made by students, which got into some scandals one time, maybe, possibly. But it's all gone now. It's all settled. But yes, it's very much made by students for students. Lots of blood shed and tears.
So there's a lot of individual groups happening right now, many of which need participants or volunteers if they're AV or even if they're publishing. So just some of the groups that we've collected, we know of Straight Talk, straight.ta1k on Instagram.
And it's not heteronormative, because when I looked at the name, I was like,
yeah, no, it's just the name of the content.
it's like direct, not straight like that.
You can also look up at genzone_podcast, at individual.bymatters. There's also Hot Take, which you can DM
Yachi Simone?
Yachi, thank you. Yachi Simone on Instagram. Just keep a lookout for all of those platforms. And if you, dear listeners, have any that we neglected to mention, please mention them in the comments below, and how everybody can get in contact if you're in need of participants or visitors or anything of the sort.
Yeah, and if you're not a Production 2 CB student, then know that you can also contact us if you need any people that, listen, reply to surveys.
Absolutely.
Or to film anything. This is our purpose.
Focus groups, anything. If you need a way to contact a lot of students all at once, that is what we are here for. We are here for you. So please reach out to us with anything that you need.
And Leslie. No, there's no Leslie. That was literally the last point. I'm sorry, I'm blind. But upcoming now,
we have an interview with a fourth-year MEM student. Enjoy. 3.
Hello everyone, and here today we are with a very special guest, a MEM student that is currently on her internship that comes from Austria, not Germany, Austria. A lot of people might think they're the same, but they're not. So, how are you, Vicky? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi. First of all, that was pretty cute. And I don't know if really a lot of people think that Austria is the same as Germany, but
just you, Lee.
Guys.
Yeah, I guess it's just me. Yeah.
I'm not European. If people are from outside Europe, we really don't know where things are. Like, Europe is tiny. But so, Vicky, can you tell us a bit about yourself, what you have going on, your age, if you want to, or what you're studying, what you're working on right now?
Okay, so for a lot of questions. Okay, let me start. I'm 24. I'm from Austria. Okay, got that. Yeah, I'm on my internship right now. I'm doing web design for an ad agency, like a digital marketing agency. And that's fun. I'm in Vienna right now. Yep. And I moved here in, I don't know, after summer? No, in summer. I don't remember. It's been a long time since March,
It really has.
Yeah, time is one.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you find this, you're working with web design, right? How did you find this agency, or why web design?
Yeah, what inspired you to go into that?
Well, the nice thing about MEM, or I guess CB now, is just that you can go in any direction. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. So, like, for me, it was pretty clear that I didn't necessarily wanted to stay in marketing and strategy, just in itself.
I get that.
I wanted, yeah, I wanted to do something with design. I didn't really mind what, so just applied to a lot of design internships that are also, combined it with marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And I found this agency, and they're really cool. And I got really lucky because I think it was the only interview that I had, and I got in, and I was really lucky.
That is really lucky.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I just love being in Vienna, so I really wanted something here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, now I'm in home office, so I've got that going, but yeah.
Not much we could do about that.
But
yeah.
when you were applying, were you applying specifically for Vienna, or?
Yeah. So most of it was in Vienna because, I don't know, I decided on Vienna, and it was already difficult enough to, like, figure out what you want to do.
Yes.
And then I don't know. I couldn't look into every single city because there were so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it was less because of Corona, I guess, and a few just got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
But there was still a lot out there. And looking into one specific city just helped me, at least.
It helps narrow it down. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Did your minor help you like distinguish what specifically you wanted to work with? Like design, you said specifically. So did your minor help with that?
Okay, so I did film and transmedia storytelling with like new screen technologies. So like that sounds really fancy, but in the end we worked with VR and storytelling and just with experience marketing kind of.
Which still sounds pretty fancy, to be honest.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of art installations and I don't know, AR gaming and apps and stuff, I guess.
That's so cool.
And it was really cool, but it was really different to what we did at NHL Stenden.
Mm-hmm.
And now web design is something completely different as well. Like, I don't know, I have this habit of like getting these waves of confidence, and then I make a big decision, and it's completely out of my comfort zone. And then I did, for example, the new VR minor and film, and I had no idea about any of that. Like, and then I arrived, and I was obviously very intimidated because everybody there knew so much more than me.
But that's such
and then I had the same situation in the internship, so I don't know, I guess that's just my thing.
That's a cool way to make decisions. I mean, you let your gut feeling speak for you.
Yeah, I guess. And in the end, I feel like everybody has something that they can add to some kind of project, even if it's not like, I don't know, the major issue, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you can always contribute something
But
and play with your strengths.
It's a really nice situation because you're always learning. I mean, you're constantly putting yourself in a position where you're always learning.
Yep. Yeah. I guess so.
Does it happen by accident, or is that something that you really try on?
Both. I don't know. I easily get bored with something, and then I start a new hobby or a new interest randomly. And I guess those were those kind of decisions.
That's good, though. So then you try everything.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not wrong, a while back on your Instagram, you were doing a lot of things with makeup. You were also in a competition that you were doing really well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was fun. It was like some sort of face awards. It was the next face awards for Austria, and then we had to make makeup tutorials on like really extravagant makeup looks, if that makes sense. And yeah, I've never made videos before either, and I was just like, yeah, I want to do this.
That's so awesome.
It was great. I remember seeing it on your Facebook feed, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, what has been your hobby's trajectory so far?
I don't know. I love plants at the moment. I want to get into candles.
It's so wholesome.
Definitely.
And I've been drawing a lot.
Oh, like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people can also check it out. What's your Instagram?
So I don't know what you're interested in, but like if you want to see the makeup, that would be just makeup already in like one thing. Or yeah, my drawings are on Vicky Pama, which is just my name.
That's awesome. Well, definitely, for all of our listeners, definitely check out her art and her makeup looks. They're incredible.
Yeah, she's more organized than I am. She doesn't keep everything in one place.
Sweet.
That's good. Well, do you have any advice for people, like in regards of taking, sudden big decisions or hobbies or minors or internship?
Any advice you can give, it's all appreciated.
Yep.
I don't know. I'd say that this sounds really stupid, but you gotta believe in yourself. I know how that sounds, but in the end, as I just said, you have something that got you in this position, and like you know what you're doing, even if you don't trust yourself sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, just being true to your strengths and your interests is gonna get you really far. I think if you just stay positive and I don't know, do your job. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta persevere and try to be authentic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess so.
And are you happy with everything you're on to at this moment?
I guess as happy as you can be in second lockdown, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, pandemic does do things, doesn't it?
That's why I focus on hobbies inside.
Hell yeah.
Plants and candles, yeah.
Opportunism. Yeah, I mean, that's the one way to be opportunistic, honestly. For
Definitely.
yourself. Like happiness, healthy.
So that's unfortunately all the time that we have today. But thank you so much for, I think I can say, our most wholesome interview that we've had so far.
That's true. It was so sweet.
I miss you.
We miss you too.
For those who don't know, we used to be all together in the student council. But thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We hope you enjoyed that little interview with Vicky. Shout out to Vicky, by the way. She said that she always listens to every single episode. So thank you for that. Next up, we have another song by What's Cooking in the Kitchen. This is also with Code Noir. It's called Michelin.
All right, and this was Michelin by What's Cooking in the Kitchen with Code Noir. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Definitely look them up on Spotify, both of them.
And Instagram, because they're always
True.
providing us with beautiful music
Yes.
and new content. All right, and now to our next segment, we have creative businesses. This week we're highlighting like very just modern, cool, creative businesses. So exactly the type of thing that like a decade ago would probably not exist.
Yeah, I describe them as very Gen Z millennial type businesses because honestly, like a decade ago, people would have, it wouldn't even have a chance to exist.
Let's take a look.
So things like cat cafes, I don't think that they existed 10 years ago, but the world is definitely better off with them.
Definitely. I agree. I think at least not in the West, because I think cat cafes have been a thing in like Japan and stuff for a while.
But it's recently
in the
become
West
super popular in the West. Yeah.
Which I'm glad, because I mean, I'm sorry for those that have an allergy. I have to, but it's
Same, but I would still go to a cat
sacrifice
cafe.
to be made.
See, now I'm just waiting for like hedgehog cafes and stuff because they have a hedgehog cafe in Tokyo and I want it so
They have
bad.
an owl cafe in Tokyo.
Owls, yes, and like a red panda one too.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
man, I think we should just move to Tokyo.
Honestly, Japan? Wow. Okay. They have goat yoga.
Have you ever seen it?
Yes. So
It's
really
just such a millennial thing.
it must be so painful though, because okay, so this is a lot of animals, right? We like animals.
We do.
So goat yoga. I saw a video of people doing, it's basically people doing yoga and goats are just around.
Goats climb on top of you. Goats, you
They
just
jump
do
on
yoga
you.
around baby goats.
I literally saw a dude just fall on his side because the goat was just like, nope. And
just like kicked him. Yeah. But it's like, it's really, really popular. Like it's really popular.
It surprises me a little bit because that's such a different take on what yoga actually is.
Right?
Because
Like
yoga
it's
is,
zen, peaceful.
and then you have a fucking goat.
kicking you. Like, bah, bitch.
Bah. My God, I'm so sorry. Oh,
Goat yoga.
Yes.
Very millennial. I don't know if it's something that will last, honestly. I think
I-
it's just like a phase or a trend.
oh yeah,
or
it's a
something.
hype, but
Yeah.
I don't think it tops really Instagram influencer.
That is huge. The the business of like Instagram influencers. Everybody's trying to be an Instagram influencer.
If you could get a 21st century like young adult job, I think that's the one.
Absolutely. That and like kindergartners being like, yeah, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up. Or now it's like Twitch streamer,
More
Instagram
specific.
influencer. It's just
Uh,
crazy.
At least it's not OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Can go to that.
To each their own.
Depop.
Yes, that's something that you recently learned about.
Yes. So by a beautiful recommendation of Stephanie herself, I downloaded the app and I still didn't check it out.
That's fine. So for anybody who doesn't know, Depop is an online platform. It's a website and an app where you can sell secondhand clothes and other things. Like I see some people selling handmade jewelry and stuff on it. But it's mainly for clothes, either vintage or secondhand. You can find stuff from H&M and Zara and all that. And it's also, I've also recently found a lot of people altering their clothes. So like you have, I don't know, just like a Nike like sweater or something,
Yeah.
but then they crop it and like they individualize it, they personalize it.
Oh, that's lit.
So it's, I don't know, it's really cool. So it's just a good way to cut down on your consumption, and you know, you're not supporting fast fashion. If you don't have any thrift shops nearby or you just can't find anything at these thrift shops, it's basically just an online thrift shop.
Yeah, and you can also make your own little money with it.
Exactly.
Selling
Yeah, you
stuff
can
that you don't need.
sell anything. So Depop, very new, very creative, very good.
Very, very good. And last, we have our Society 6.
Do you know Society 6?
It sounds very familiar. I'm not gonna lie.
I might have talked to you about it before. So anybody, I'm pretty sure anybody can create an account, and you have to upload art that you have made. So it can't be copyright material, anything like that. It has to be your own original artworks, and it can be like any style. So each artist has like their account and then their specific pieces of work. And then Society 6 prints them onto literally anything you can imagine. So like the bed sheets, pillowcases, iPhone cases, like mugs, anything.
That's lit. I think I know it in the form of Redbubble.
Yeah, it's similar to
probably
Redbubble.
competitors.
Is Redbubble more just for stickers though?
It's more famous for stickers, but for example, I bought a Venetian Man tapestry and I got it from there. And it was on the same system of like you have a certain design and you can buy it in different items.
Yeah. So then Society 6 and Redbubble would be similar things, but both very like modern ideas, inventions.
Yeah. I mean, if y'all, come up with any creative idea like that, just hit me up. Let's try to work something out because I need some money.
Learn how to code.
All right. Next up, we have a couple of tips for you guys. We've got several tips for you guys on 2 different subjects.
2 different categories.
We really want to help you. Like, you have no idea how much we want to help you.
So the first subject that we have tips for you today, how not to get your bike stolen.
Yeah, because we're in Leeuwarden, we're in the Netherlands, and recently, my house, we've had like about 3 bikes stolen already.
Yeah, I mean, if you yourself haven't had a bike stolen, then you at least know somebody who's had a bike stolen.
And it's probably gonna come to you anyways.
Exactly.
From experience.
I mean, the first tip could be pretty obvious. If you don't have a lock, what are you doing with your life?
Yes.
Get a lock, at least one. Preferably the 2 types of locks. So the one that is constantly on your bike and then just clicks through the back tire, and then also a wraparound lock.
Yeah.
At least 2 heavy-duty locks.
Yeah, if you really cherish your bike and you don't want it stolen, that's like the minimum for you to do. I'm so sorry, but it's true. And what you can also do is get that wrap and not like just do it on the bike itself, but wrap it to something.
Something stable, like a light post or something.
Yeah, because the chances of them being able to get away with that or the work to be done to get, the bike out, it's way more. And just if you don't even have a bike yet, do not spend money on a bike.
On a good bike.
Yeah.
Spend money on a...
But not even that much money. I mean, people get bikes for like 20 euros.
Yeah, I would say probably like 30, 35 max. Because it's not worth it to get a really fancy bike.
And all the good ones, trust me, they always get stolen.
Always.
If it's not now, it's going to be later.
Yeah. Our second last tip is if it's possible, keep it inside.
Yeah. If you have a space, then just keep it inside your house. Because every time, usually it gets stolen at night, but I know people that got stolen like from university.
Yeah, broad daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then our last tip for how not to get your bike stolen, make it look undesirable.
Kind of.
Like just spray paint it with really weird colors or like make sure it looks crappy. Blue is a nice color. Come on, man. Blue is nice.
Okay. Done with that because we were like, okay, there's more besides bike in the Netherlands. Surprising, but there is more besides bike in the Netherlands. We also thought, you know what, a lot of people with the year turning and stuff, a lot of people are looking for jobs because Corona was harsh on everyone. So here we are also to give you a few tips on how to get a job.
Yes. So the first place that I've had some success looking towards for a job is Indeed. Indeed.nl. Indeed is like universal. I've used it in tons of different countries, but the Dutch one, you have to be very specific. You have to say exactly what city you're in, exactly what language you want, and exactly like what type of job you're looking for. But Indeed does work. It does.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And with that, we also have a Glassdoor. I heard some people that have been efficient with that.
I've never tried it, but that is something that I really want to look into. It's also, I've heard, good for looking for internships.
Yes, definitely. And you have several different websites, but honestly, try to work with the people that you know. Trust me, you always know someone that if it's not themselves working, they know somebody that is working somewhere that can give you a nice information about a place.
Yeah, friends, teachers, acquaintances, neighbor's dog,
like
anything.
Do not hesitate to reach out to people. And sometimes we might get a little bit sheepish of like, oh yeah, but is it about their stuff? It really isn't.
Do it.
Like, probably the person just wants to help you even more, you know, knowing that you're needing something. So just go for it and be like, hi, I need a job, or I need a job with this or that. And
Yeah. If you don't get your message out there, then nobody will know to help you. If you're looking for a sign to ask anybody about a job,
this is it.
this is it. Do it.
We're helping you out, dude. We're helping you out. And I don't know if you guys have any other tips to get jobs. That's how me and Steph got ours.
Yeah. I found it through Indeed. And then how did you find it, actually?
I found it technically through you and Philip.
Oh, yeah.
But also I know that some people that are working are as well got it from teachers.
Yep.
And also there are a couple of services at university. So like we said, people, if you go on a one-on-one basis, not a digital basis, they usually, like the tendency of them having a reply to you that might help you is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, good luck job searching.
Good luck. We really wish you good luck.
Yeah, literally.
It's not easy, especially if you don't speak Dutch. We know this firsthand, but
It's possible.
there are surprisingly some English-speaking jobs out there in Leeuwarden.
Yeah, which maybe we could also think of something, not we ourselves, but an idea for whoever's listening, maybe work out like a way of working with a Dutch friend or whoever to give like the basics that you would need for a specific job.
Yeah.
So like if you want to work with waitressing, then maybe like a course specific for Dutch around that,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
people can get like an intensive course and then work. So you don't have to suffer.
Helping you out for future production students.
Yeah, if you want any idea, here it is. And yeah,
We hope that those tips helped at least a little bit with your bike and your future job.
and we hope that you've had a great time with us listening to our.
Rambling.
I mean, we got some content, okay?
Yeah.
We're communicating something.
Mhm.
We are about to finish.
Yep. If you have any comments,
Feedback,
tips,
questions.
tips and tops, leave it in the comments below. We would always love your feedback, please.
Yes, if you have any content that you like to see more or any help that you're needing and we can help you out, feel free to reach out. We'll always be here for you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next